I ran some numbers that I found really surprising. That I asked, I did the query about which countries in NATO hosted the most NATO and U.S. UCOM exercises.
Mhm.
And, out of what at the time was like 30, this is, before Finland, Sweden came in, out of 30 NATO countries, starting from 1995 up to, say, 2024, Ukraine hosted more NATO military exercises, U.S. UCOM exercises, than 24 other NATO countries. Was there any point when you and your colleagues, other Russian officers, were saying, what the hell's going on? I mean, this, they clearly, it would appear to me they're clearly planning on something to use Ukraine against us.
Yes, you are absolutely right, Larry. They started the series of naval exercises, Sea Breeze,
Mm-hmm.
in the 90s. We were against, we never participated, even, well, the population of Sevastopol, once they tried to conduct the exercises in the vicinity of Sevastopol and land in Sevastopol, the population prevented the landing of NATO people from the NATO warships. Yes, at Yavor firing range, they trained and conducted exercises. Yes, we saw that, but unfortunately, our at that time, our policy towards Ukraine was, in my personal view, was very short-sighted.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we should have acted more decisively because uh, well, because of our base, Black Sea Fleet base in Sevastopol, we actually supplied Ukraine with gas practically free of charge. We supplied them with actually our technical military cooperation on the Russian side was much more generous than it was on the Ukrainian side. So a lot of things were done, in my view, not in a proper mode. We should have
Yeah.
acted more. I wouldn't say aggressively, but more decisively, explaining Ukraine that such a behavior may lead to very sad consequences. One example, for example, we conducted with them, we signed the treaty on Black Sea Fleet. It was because of the lack of proper people, the lack of experienced people in the Ministry of Defense. In my department at that time, I was just joined the department when that treaty was being drafted. So the agreement was with so many loopholes that it was clear from the very beginning that it would not work properly.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened because Ukraine did not allow us to substitute any single warship or even auxiliary ship. So the fleet was actually dying because of the age. No new warship was introduced in the Black Sea during the Ukrainian during the Ukraine possession of Crimea. Only after 2014 the Black Sea Fleet started its modernization, but of course it lagged behind so much that it was not very easy. Let's put it like this.
Well, when did it strikes me that prior to 2022, and specifically in January of 2022, when the draft security treaty that President Putin had presented to Joe Biden in December of 2021, until the outright rejection of that by Anthony Blinken, the Secretary of State, it seems that Russia still sort of held out a hope or a belief that it could have a normal relationship with the West, that it could be incorporated, that there was a way that we could work together as partners. Is it fair to say that there was that perception prior to 2022?
Well, Larry, I
And you can disagree with me all because
well, I disagree. No,
okay,
we had no illusions because, of course, the what was presented to the West was a bit of, in my personal opinion, was a paper for further negotiation.
right.
Further compromises could have been reached because some Russian proposals, again, I repeat, were a bit too much, in my opinion. Especially NATO withdrawal to the line of 1992. Of course, that was not possible, but we hope that the kind of serious negotiations would follow.
Sure.
And some compromises could have been reached on NATO expansion, on stationing of NATO forces, on Ukraine, by the way. Of course, at that time, Crimea was out of the question. But as for Donbass, and Putin showed it in the Minsk agreement, we were ready just for kind of autonomy of, not autonomy, but a more self-determination on the part of Donbass, but within as part of Ukraine, of course.
Sure.
More rights, more allow the voice in solving some issues like joining NATO, joining EU, but still Donbass, according to the Putin proposals, were part of Ukraine. We didn't want any independence of Donbass or even Donbass being part of Russia. It came only after end of 21, when our proposals in December were rejected, and Ukraine, we recognized the independence of Donbass and Lugansk, asked Ukraine stop, not before we asked officially Ukraine stop shelling Donetsk and stop shelling Lugansk. They intensified shelling, then their independence were recognized, and they afterwards became part of Russia.
I saw,
but still not the whole of them.
I was in a museum there on Red Square, saw the poster. If my pronunciation's wrong, to correct me, but it said Donbass serce Rossiya. Donbass, the heart of Russia?
It used to be. It used to be in the 19th century. Yes, it was the industrial heart of Russia. And Donbass, and the whole of Novorossiya, Odessa, Nikolaev, Kherson, Zaporozhye, Dnepropetrovsk, Donetsk, Lugansk, Kharkiv, Sumy. Those were absolutely
Yeah.
Russian regions. It was Lenin who did.
Well, you lost your sound. Lost your sound.
To,
There it comes. Oh, you're back.
strengthen the working class of Ukraine.
Hmm. Yeah, it is. Um, it's something that's I don't think it's really appreciated here in the West. And
Yes, yes, yes. Well, when Putin says that Ukraine actually is artificial state, that's right, because Lenin gave Ukraine actually one, two, three, four, eight Russian regions
yeah,
which were part well, in the Russian Empire were absolutely part of Russian Empire. Stalin, after World War II, gave them five regions which belonged to Hungary, Poland, and Romania.
yeah, it was crazy that
And then Khrushchev, presented Crimea to Ukraine.
yeah. So here's the Stalin from Georgia, Nikita Khrushchev, born in Russia but really raised in Ukraine.
Yes.
Then Brezhnev out of Kiev. So it was like, where are the Russians?
Yes, you're absolutely right because we Russia well in the time of the Soviet Union the policy of the Soviet leadership was to strengthen the border parts of the Soviet Union, Asian republics, Caucasian republics, Ukraine, Baltic republics, for example, before they joined Russia, they were just Estonia never existed as
Yeah,
independent state. Latvia never existed as an independent state. Only Lithuania. But in the 40s, they were all purely agricultural areas,
yeah,
regions.
yeah. I
In the
mean,
Soviet Union, they have become the industrial, actually the window of the Soviet Union.
yeah. What's crazy? I think again, most Americans don't appreciate how tiny these countries are population-wise. I think the combined populations of Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania don't even rise up to be what is the population of Moscow.
Yeah, well, even less now, even less,
Yeah,
because I don't remember the exact figures, but about 40% of their population, after they joined the European Union, they fled. They fled to further west.
yeah, yeah.
So now from the viewpoint of population, they're quite miserable.